Hey guys, so sorry that I can't be on a live Google Meet with you all today, but I do have a professional development training that I'm in with Mr. Mudd and Miss Hoskins. So I'm just going to do today's lesson on a recording. This is the exact same thing that I went over with the Monday-Tuesday group on Monday. So today's lesson, we're going to be working on substituting in variables in expressions. And remember, when you're substituting, that just means in algebra that we replace the letters in an expression or an equation with the numbers. We call that substitution. So we're going to start with this problem right here. If you will get out some pencil and paper and you can work these along with me, you can just pause the video and see what answer you get and then compare it to mine. So we're going to start with n equals 3, and you have 4n plus 6 squared. So go ahead and write that down on your piece of paper and pause the video and see if you can solve it, and we'll compare to see if we get the same answer. So go ahead and pause now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. Hopefully you paused and worked out this problem. We're going to substitute in. That means to replace the variable here with the with the number the value of it. And we replace it. We put parentheses around it because this does mean to multiply. Plus 6 squared. So we're looking at PEMDAS. The order of operations is what we're going to follow now. So we have multiplication, addition, and exponents. We would do exponents first. So this 6 squared does not mean 6 times 2. It actually means 6 times 6. So 6 times 6 would be 36. Rewrite your problem. Now we're going to multiply before we add. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then 36 plus 12, or 12 plus 36, would be 48. So that should be your answer to your first problem that you worked out with substitution. So let's take a look at the second problem. So go ahead and write this down on your paper. X equals 8. And then you have 12x plus 2 to the third. And I want you to try to solve that on your own. So if you want to pause the video and then compare to see if you get the same answer that I get. If you're not sure about 12 times 8, because that's what 12x means, then you can go out to the side and do a multiplication problem. And remember, 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you get the same answer that I get. All right, hopefully you paused and worked that out. So 12, we're going to replace this x, substitute in with an 8, and rewrite our problem. So it looks like this. And if you did not know 12 times 8, go over here to the side, multiply that out, and I get 96. And 2 to the third, if you're not sure about that, because we have to do that first, 2 times 2 is 4. Then you still have to multiply that by 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to replace this with an 8. Now I would multiply before I add, and I already know that's 96 plus 8, and that equals 104. So hopefully you got that answer when you substituted. All right, so I think we have 2 more problems. Go ahead and write this one out. So x equals 2, and I have 4x plus 2x to the third. So substitute in the 2 for all of those x's and pause the video and see if you get the same answer that I get. All right, so if you pause the video, we're going to substitute in the 2. And then this looks kind of funny right here because you have a lot going on. So let's just talk about it. Here we have multiplication, 4 times 2, addition. This is multiplication, but then you also have exponents. So if we're following the order of operations, there's nothing to do inside the parentheses. So we have to do our exponent next, and that would be 2 to the third. And we already found out in this problem up here that 2 to the third is 8. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down here. And then I'm going to multiply 4 times 2 and 2 times 8, which is 16, and I get 24. So that would be your answer to that expression. And I think we have one more with substituting. So we have an exponent outside of the parentheses as well as a number that we're multiplying by. So go ahead and write down x equals 6. And you have 2 times x plus 2 to the second power. So write that down on your paper, substitute in that 6 for x, and go ahead and try to solve. Pause your video and see if you get the same answer that I get. All right, so hopefully you paused, and we're going to substitute in the 6. So when I rewrite it, it looks like this. So now I have to think about the order of operations. Should I do what's in parentheses first? Yes. So it's 2 times, and this is 6 plus 2, which would be 8 to the second power. So now I have to do exponents. So what does this exponent belong to? It belongs to this 8. So that means 8 times 8, which is 64. So then we have 2 times 64. Well, I know 2 times 60 is 120, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So that would be 128. All right, so hopefully that helped you a little bit with your substitution of variables and expressions. If you need to go back and change any of your independent work and resubmit that, please make sure that you do that. And if you guys need anything, just send me an email or put a message and I will help you out.